Check 2. Good morning, everybody. My name is Elda, if you don't know me yet. Been known here a little more for my musical stuff because I've been doing some collaborations with John and Anton, but I'm also a yoga teacher, so I will be subbing here for a bit. And yeah, all right, we will get started in child's pose whenever you're ready. Thank you guys for being here today. Thanks, Jordan. Morning, Chris. You can find a comfortable resting position to start. I always like to say at the beginning here, you just want to be comfortable in your body because you really spend the rest of the class getting uncomfortable in your body. So if you can take a few moments here to get comfortable and then manage some of the uncomfortable things in the mind. This is like your foundation for that. This is your time to clear out your thoughts, make any commitments that you need to find the present moment and find a way to stay there. Maybe you want to close your eyes. Maybe you want to make some adjustments, make the knees a little wider, or arms by your sides. Got a few more deep breaths here. We breathe from the low belly, in and out through the nose. The reason why we breathe in and out through the nose is because it's a smaller airway, so it really slows everything down. It makes you take your time. It's a really great way to regulate your nervous system just by connecting to your diaphragmatic breath. And for your last few moments here, you can set a personal goal or intention for your practice today. If there's something you showed up specifically that you'd like to put some energy towards, now is a really great time to make that commitment. As always in my classes, if you don't have an intention and you need one, I like to offer one. It's here for you to take or leave, and just if you don't have one, stay committed to yours if you made one already. So this week my intention is about patience, being a little bit more patient with yourself, and a reminder that nothing in nature blooms all year. It's easy to feel like we should always be improving, achieving, moving forward, and then things slow down or feel uncertain, and it can seem like we're falling behind. But nature does not work that way. Trees rest in winter, and seeds spend so much time beneath the soil before they ever bloom. Growth has seasons. There'll be time of expansion and times of rest, and both are necessary. Just like nature, you are allowed to pause, recover, and grow in your own rhythm. Take 2 more deep breaths here, knowing that child's pose will always be there for you. Last one. All right, let's come forward to a tabletop position. You can stack your shoulders over wrists and hips over knees. You can spread the fingers wide, and we'll take a few cat and cows. On your inhale, look up, bring your shoulder blades together. And exhale to look down and in, tuck your tail, bring your chin to your chest. Inhale again to look up, shoulder blades draw together, heart is open. And then exhale, tuck the tail, chin to chest. Let's do 2 more rounds like that. Ride your inhale to your mini back bend. And then exhale, round and curl. We'll do 1 more full round. Inhale. And exhale. Neutral spine from here. Let's walk the hands forward for puppy pose. I've been doing this all week. I love this prep for downward facing dog. That feeling of like hanging with your shoulders. You're looking for that feeling when we get to downward dog eventually. It's easy to find it here because of the generous bend in the knees. It's really just hamstring flexibility that causes the spine to round and then the weight to tip into the shoulders, and you lose this feeling. So that tells us that in our down dog, we might want a generous bend there as well. I do like to offer some hands-on assists. If you don't want any assists today, you can lift up one of your hands now, and I will be sure to skip you. All right, let's come forward to tabletop. So that being said, move into a downward dog, but be really slow to work the legs straighter. So you're maintaining that length in the spine as you dive into your downward dog. Good. So you can start with a really generous bend in the knees, work the legs straighter, and if at any time the spine starts to round or the shoulders get heavy, that's your indicator you've probably just straightened the legs a little too much. For some context, even your more flexible person still needs a little bit of a bend in the knees to maintain a straight spine. I personally need a generous one. Be here for 2 more breaths. You can melt the heels side to side, bend and straighten the legs, pedal the legs out. Let's walk, jump, or float to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale and fold. We'll take a hip distance apart stance with the feet. Pigeon toe just slightly, and then grab opposite elbows and hang out here. So bend your knees enough so the lower belly comfortably touches the thighs. From there, keep the belly touching the thighs, and you can work the legs straighter, but you want to maintain that connection. It's important for spine health and also just for getting some of those benefits in the hamstrings. Maybe tip the weight forward and back, sway from side to side. Always feel like you can add any variations or extra movements in your postures in my classes. We'll take 1 more breath here. And then we'll make our way to a standing position. You can roll, you can reverse swan dive. I like a nice reverse swan dive. Standing on the right leg, or actually let's do a side stretch first. Feet are hip distance apart, and then we'll side stretch to the right. Palms can be together, or right arm can come by your side. If you want to rest your hand to your hip as well, especially if you have anything going on with the right shoulder, tuck the right hip back and the left shoulder back. Then left shoulder tugs slightly down. On your inhale, come back up through center. You can reach up. On the exhale, bring your big toes to touch and your left knee to chest. Just sort of getting to the midline of your body before we bring that knee in. You're hugging that knee up nice and high as if you were reclined. So like same position as that reclined knee to chest. If it's available to you, add in a standing quad stretch, left heel to your bum, right hand to your hip. You want your thighs glued together here. Left knee will try to pop forward. Try to bring it in line with the right, and then scoop your tailbone under to get even more length in that left hip flexor. As you release the left foot, bring the knee behind the right, and then inhale to reach up and push down through the big toes, and exhale and fold. Keep pushing down through the big toes. You'll feel that tendency to let the weight shift to the pinky toe side. Feel almost like you're trying to lift the pinky toes and push down through the big toes. Keep your right foot where it is, path of least resistance. Left knee will come to the ground for a low lunge. You can take an inhale here to let the hips sink. And then exhale, we'll take half splits. Keep the right thigh on the belly as you transition. It helps to think more like chin or heart to toes instead of nose to knee. That helps you just lengthen the spine forward. We'll shift forward to a lunge, pick your back knee up. We'll take a couple breaths here in your first runner's lunge today. You can move around, get light in the hands wherever you go. So you're thinking more about being stronger through the legs and lighter through the hands. For 1 more breath in as you are, then downward facing dog on your exhale. Plant your palms, push your chest towards your toes, lift your hips up high. 2 deep breaths here. Breathe in, bend the knees, look forward. Always an opportunity to hop to handstand, walk, jump, or float to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale and fold. We'll rise up to stand on your inhale. You can sweep both arms up high. Feet are hip distance here, side stretch to the left. Any arm variation you'd like. This time the left hip tugs back and the right shoulder tugs back. And the right shoulder plugs down and away from the ear. Right elbow crease faces the left side of the room towards the window. On your inhale, come back up through center. You can bring your big toes to touch. And then exhale, right knee to chest this time. So we're standing on the left leg. Bring that knee up as high as you can. And then right heel to bum for standing quad stretch if that's available. Thighs are together. And the tailbone scoops under. So a little engagement in the core to tuck the tailbone under. Right knee behind left for a cross-legged mountain. Push down through the big toes, reach up, breathe in. And then fold on your exhale. Wow, I love your work. Those colors are amazing. This time, left foot stays where it is. Lower your right knee to the ground. You could take an inhale to sink the hips, and then exhale to half splits. I do sometimes like to change around my music during my classes. Just always want you guys to know I'm never texting or anything like that, but I do like to play DJ, so. Shift forward to your runner's lunge, our final pose of this sequence. Shift forward, pick your back knee up, root down to rise. So you're pushing down through the feet. Right heel on the toes in a lunge. I really love this alignment. When your heel slides behind the toes and you're sinking into the ankle, you really just like sink into that ankle and you aren't using strength anymore. So shifting forward really helps you use strength to stay lifted. One more breath in as you are. Exhale to downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Shift forward to plank and hold. Draw your shoulders back and away from the ears. That'll take the shoulders out of this. Wrap the elbow creases forward. That'll help take the chest out of this. And then scoop the tailbone under, which will help avoid sinking into the spine. Those 3 cues are my favorite, and an alternate here is to have a slight micro bend in the elbows. It avoids kind of locking out the joint and sinking into that placement. We're always looking to avoid places we can sink into. Strength over sinking. One more breath in. And then exhale, we take tabletop. So I always like to take a moment to slow down chaturanga. Focus on 2 main cues. First is shoulders always away from the ears. So you never want to approach chaturanga dumping into the shoulders. This pose is not designed for the shoulders, so over time it can create injury. And then the next thing is more of a feeling, less of like an alignment you can really talk about. You want to feel like you're falling forward. So I'll demonstrate what I mean. I don't have that feeling here. That's why it's so easy here. Easy, easy, right about there is when I got it. You can see there's no weight in my wrist. It's all in my fingers. It feels like an arm balance. That's the feeling you're looking for. So we'll try to find it together. From your table, this gives you the leverage to shift forward enough, by the way. That's why I don't start in modified plank. You don't have the leverage to get forward enough there. So arms straight and shift forward and hold there. We take it really slow. So your shoulders should be past your wrists here. Weight is out of the wrists and into the fingers. As you bend, do not think down, think more forward. So you're taking the crown of the head, pushing it 2 inches more forward so that the elbows stay on the wrists. Stay falling forward, really looking for that feeling as you push to upward facing dog. Should be really tough if you're getting it right. If you're not sure if you're getting that feeling of falling forward, then you likely don't have it yet because it's so hard to find, but it really does take time. It's a really hard pose to get. Legs just hip distance apart here if you can. That helps you get a little more into the front body for one more breath in. And then exhale to downward facing dog. We'll do plenty of our vinyasas today. So every time I say vinyasa, know that it's optional. You can skip them, you can take them, you can make them your own, but it's always a yogi's choice. Okay, let's do some traditional sun A's. Take a look forward. Walk, jump, or float to the top of your mat. Halfway lift and breathe in. Exhale and fold. Inhale to rise and reach up, sun A. Exhale, hands through heart and to your sides. Inhale again to reach up. Exhale and fold. halfway lift, breathe in. Vinyasa or down dog or anything in between. Take it slow, let your breath guide you. Take a look forward, walk, jump, or float. Half lift and inhale, exhale and fold. Breathe in and rise, reach up and stand tall. Exhale, hands through heart center and to your sides. Inhale to reach once again. Exhale and fold. Half lift, breathe in. Vinyasa or down dog or anything else that serves you. It can be different every time. Take a look forward, walk, jump, or float. Half lift, breathe in. Exhale as we fold. Inhale and rise. Exhale, hands through heart center and to your sides. Inhale, we reach. And exhale, we fold. Half lift, breathe in. Vinyasa, down dog, anything else that makes sense to you right now. I also love the option of holding plank. We'll do 2 more rounds of Sun A. Walk, jump, or float when you're ready. Half lift and inhale. Exhale and fold. Breathe in and rise. Hands through heart center and to your sides on your exhalation. Breathe in and reach. Exhales and fold. Half lift, breathe in. Vinyasa, down dog, anything in between. Last one, take a look forward, walk, jump, or float. Half lift and inhale, exhale and fold. Inhale to rise and reach up. Exhales, hands through your heart and to your sides, palms forward, open to receive. Inhale, we reach up. And exhale, we fold. Half lift, breathe in. Vinyasa or down dog to conclude our Sun A series. We'll move on to some Sun Bs. All right, step your feet together at the back of your mat. We'll reach the right leg up high. We'll bend the knee, stack the hip. If there's a different variation you'd like to take, you can always feel free to do that. But we'll take this if you can. Good. Now bring your right knee towards your nose for a core plank and hold. We'll hang out here. Squeeze your core like it's the only muscle you have. Less from everything else, less from the leg, more from the core. Without taking a swing, step your right foot gently between the hands for a runner's lunge. Let's ground the back foot right away, and we'll reach forward to a half warrior one. So back foot will be flat here, reaching to the front of the room. If you want more in your warriors, you can lift up all 10 toes. You keep the toe mounds on the ground, but you lift the toes. You can stay like this for this whole sequence. Airplane your arms, shoulder blades tugged together, almost like you're spiraling the elbow creases towards the sides of the room to really get open through the chest. Stay deep in the legs. Rise up to warrior one. So inhale to rise, and then on your exhale, you can settle in. Maybe sink a little deeper. Shoulders square forward, but you can leave that left hip alone. I usually like to say, you don't have to try to square it forward or open it up. As long as the shoulders are squared forward, the hip will usually follow. Open up to warrior two. Now we do change the hips a lot. We do focus a little more on what the hips are doing here. Left hip as open as you can without the right knee caving in. And slightly draw the left shoulder back as well. That'll also even help guide the hip open a little bit more. If you wanted those toes lifted, you could still keep them lifted now. So this will be a yogi's choice for reverse. You can either reverse warrior or triangle. For some context, our next pose will be wide-legged fold. So a reverse triangle gets you closer to that position for our transition. Stay here and breathe in. And then exhale, we'll take that wide-legged fold. So right foot angles in. If your knee was bent, you straighten it out now. You got some time. This is got lots of options here. Like you can get upside down, you can interlace your hands, you can grab for your ankles, wherever you want to go with this one. I'll give you a fun adjustment. A little closer together. Good, perfect. Now you're going to drop your arms. Start with that. I'm going to drop you. Bring your weight to your big toes. Your chest towards me. Yes. No fear. Let's square forward and drop your back knee. So we're in like a modified runner's lunge. We won't hold here. Runner's lunge is usually like a transitional position. We'll come up to modified crescent. So shoulders down, fingertips reaching. Elbow creases spiral like they're kind of going towards the back wall, but then you can face your palms towards one another. Prayer twist to the right. Thumbs working towards the center of your chest, hands to your heart. So try to keep the pelvis still sinking here. So you're twisting, but if you keep the hips sinking, you'll get a nice hip flexor stretch. Now tuck the back toes under, lift your back knee if you can. Keep that back heel pushing forward. So that alignment I mentioned earlier in our runner's lunge is pretty consistent in all your lunges. You're always pushing that left heel slightly forward to avoid the weight shifting into the ankle. Twist a little deeper for one more breath in. Exhale, plant the palms, step back. You could take a vinyasa or down dog. Sorry. Yeah, no problem. Let me just see if I know how. I think it's this. Is that better? Okay. Yeah, of course. All right, left leg sweeps the sky. Can bend the knee, stack the hip. Good. Yes. All right, left knee to nose, core plank and hold. Strong through the fingers here, light through the wrists. Without taking a swing, left foot steps lightly between the hands, muscle over momentum. Ground your back foot flat, half warrior one. You guys can hear me okay, right? I like to keep my music loud. Stay deep in the legs, airplane the arms. So this does feel like a hard opener here. We stay deep in the legs as you rise up to warrior one. Inhale to reach up and then exhale to sit a little lower. Shoulders down as the fingertips reach. Hips are sinking, but sides of the waist are lengthening. Breathe in as you are. Exhale to warrior two. So big change in the hips here. Good. You can adjust the back foot. I like it more parallel to the back of the mat just because I have tighter hips. You might be able to keep it angled slightly forward. On your inhale here, you can reverse. Again, this is your choice. You can straighten the front leg out or keep it bent. The only thing I'll say is try to keep it consistent with whatever you do side to side. Stay here and breathe in. Exhale to wide-legged fold. You can get upside down. You can take another shoulder bind. I like to give some time and space in your wide-legged folds to take anything that serves you. Bring your feet a little closer together. I'm going to give you a minute. Square forward, lower your back knee. And then you can reach your arms up for low crescent, modified crescent, crescent B. There's a lot of different names for this pose. Tailbone scoops under to help engage your core. Hands to heart, twist to the left. Back knee lifts when you're ready. Try to keep the hips still just as low as they were when the knee was on the ground. And then you're light in the right elbow. Notice if you're sinking there. You want to just use it as a little connection to twist deeper, never to sink into. For one more breath in. Exhale, plant the palms, vinyasa or down dog. All right, that's our sequence to flow through. So we'll do one breath each pose. Speed is never the goal. Always feel like you can go slower than I'm cueing. We'll take 2 breaths here. Last one. Inhale to sweep the right leg high. Exhale, step it through, runner's lunge. Half warrior one, breathe in and reach forward. Exhale to airplane. Inhale, warrior one, and exhale, warrior two. Reverse, breathe in, your choice. Wide-legged fold and exhale. Square forward and lower your back knee on your inhalation. Reach your arms up. Exhale, prayer twist to the right. Pick up your back knee, breathe in. Exhale, hands to the mat, vinyasa or down dog or anything in between. Down dog on your exhale. Inhale the left leg high. Exhale to step it through. Half warrior one, reach forward, back foot is flat. Airplane and exhale. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Reverse, breathe in, wide-legged, and exhale. Square forward, lower your back knee, reach up and breathe in. Exhale, prayer twist to the left. Pick up your back knee, breathe in. And vinyasa or downward facing. Great job, guys. We'll flow through that together one more time. Inhale the right leg high. Exhale, lunge it through. Ground your back foot flat. Half warrior one, breathe in. Airplane and exhale. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Reverse, your choice, breathe in. Wide-legged fold and exhale. Square forward, lower your back knee, big transition, reach your arms up and breathe in. Prayer twist to the right on your exhale. Pick your back knee up, breathe in, and exhale, vinyasa. Down dog on your exhale. Inhale, sweep the left leg high. Exhale to step it through. Last side, half warrior one, breathe in. Airplane and exhale. Warrior one and rise. Warrior two and exhale, sit low. Reverse, your choice with that front leg. Wide-legged fold on your exhale. Square forward, drop your back knee, reach up, breathe in. Prayer twist left and exhale. Pick your back knee up, breathe in. vinyasa, or down dog. We'll take a quick break in child's pose. So also be some free time if you want to get to an inversion, if you want to take a different resting pose. You got some time here to take what you need. About a minute or so. Nice. How you doing, Chris? Nice. All right, if you're ready to move on, you can find your downward dog now. You can stay here longer. So this sequence is going to start in a plank pose. So you can shift forward, stay there. We'll open up to the right side of the room for side plank. So right arm will reach up, left hand is down. You got some options here. If you want to take a tree pose with the top leg, if you want to star that leg, whatever you want to do there. So all we'll do here is lower the left knee to the ground and then reach the right arm forward. So we'll get a nice side body stretch. Half moon, reach the right arm up, stamp the right foot back wall. Once you get into that neutral position, if you want to add on a variation, heel to bum, you can kick it away from you. You can also just stay in that side stretch if that was really working for you. Back to the neutral half moon. Right leg's gonna stay lifted here. As you bring your right hand down, we'll warn you guys aren't gonna like me after these next few poses. Tuck your left toes under, right leg stays lifted. Lift your left knee to hover 1 inch off of the ground, and it's gonna stay there for the next 5 poses. Left leg will not change unless you wanna drop it down to just modify there. Bring your right knee to your nose, left knee still hovering. Keep the left heel pushing forward. You're looking for a right angle with that left leg. Gently step your right foot between the hands. Again, left leg does not change, it's still hovering. So this is hovering runner's lunge. We won't hold this position, we're just passing through. Crescent. Back knee still hovers, so this is like a hovering crescent. Try to really push that back heel forward, getting like a 90-90 position. Last variation with the hover will be a twist to the right. Palms open to the right side of the room. You guys still like me? You're like, nope. For revolved crescent, now you can straighten the back leg out, left hand down, right arm up. If you'd like to play with rolling to the blades of the feet here, something fun, you can do that too. Keep your left hip lifting just as much as the right arm is lifting, so the lower body is twisting against the upper body instead of with it. Breathe in as you are. Lower the right hand on your exhale. We'll use standing L as a transitional pose. You can inhale to walk the hands forward, muscle over momentum, and then exhale, warrior 3, any arms. Left hip draws way down as much as you can. And then spine is straight, so you might have to bend the standing leg a lot to help get that spine nice and long. Breathe in. Exhales to standing splits, hands to the ground. Think mostly about folding here. The deeper you fold, the higher the leg's gonna go. And please play with your handstands if you'd like. It's a great time to take some handstand kick-ups. Nice handstands, guys. If you're playing, play as long as you want. For the rest of us, we'll find a Shiva squat. Left knee to the outside of the right calf. You can lift your chest slightly, bring your hands to your heart. Sit as low as you can, like you're working the left knee towards the right ankle. You don't even have to lift the arms. I love this transition. Rearrange the left leg to chair, and then reach your arms up. We'll hold here. I usually cue big toes together and heels apart in a chair pose. That slight pigeon toe really squares the legs forward. Take a breath in here. Prayer twist to the right on your exhale. Left knee tucks behind the right. Just slightly behind the right. Yes. We'll keep your hands at your heart. Stay here, breathe in. On the exhale, we'll untwist. On the inhale, rise up to stand and separate your feet hip distance. On your exhale here, bend into the left and twist to the right for a revolved forward fold. So your right hand can change when you're there. You can rest it to your low back. You can take your right hand to the inside of the left thigh. Good. If you play with birds of paradise, that's another option here, or a full bind. Right leg doesn't have to be straight as well. It's just straighter than the left. Beautiful variations, guys. Wherever you are, take a breath in. You can keep playing if you're playing. We'll take a forward fold on the exhale. Bring your big feet, or big feet, your big toes to touch. Step your left foot halfway down your mat for a pyramid pose. If you prefer a wider stance for pyramid, you can do that too. We'll finish off here with a twist. Left hand down, right arm up. Breathe in as you are. Exhale back to pyramid pose. Take a step forward, halfway lift, breathe in. We'll just fold as normal on your exhale. This time, halfway lift, breathe in, and you can take a vinyasa.
Tell me when to say love me, Ginger. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go.
All right, we'll get to doing all of that on the left. Let's take 2 more breaths here.
I need your loving, so fresh, so clean. Love me in and out.
So we start in plank, shift forward. Reach your left arm up, open up to the left side of the room. Side plank and hold. So you tip your left hip slightly forward here. Good, your core really turns on when you do that, but then you slightly draw your left shoulder back. Good. So just lower the right knee first, and then reach your left arm forward for a nice side body stretch. Half moon, left foot stamps on the back wall, left arm reaches up. You can take a variation here if you'd like. If you had a variation, release it now. We'll take a 3-legged table. So left toes never touch the ground in this transition. Now tuck your right toes under. Hover the right knee just 1 inch off of the ground. It's a very small hover. Good. Left leg is still extended. So this is 3-legged hovering table. Now bring your left knee to your nose. Right leg does not change. It's still in that hover. Pushing the right heel forward. Without swinging, step lightly left foot between the hands. Right knee stays hovering. Good. Then rise up to hovering crescent. Our last variation with the hover is a twist to the left. Open up the palm to the left side of the room. So you keep reaching out through the fingertips, but you still draw the shoulder blades together. So it's always like a balance. There's usually 2 different motions in opposite directions going on. So shoulder blades tug together, then arms continue to reach out. Keep the arms like this, straighten the back leg out, right hand down, left arm up. This is revolved crescent. So your right hip will stay lifted as much as possible here. Light in the right hand. You know what to do if you took something funky on the other side. You can do that here on this side as well. Last breath in as you are. Exhale to runner's lunge. Standing L on your inhale just to pass through and transition. And then warrior 3 on your exhale. any arms, hands to heart, bind, airplane, reach them forward. Right hip pulls down as much as you can. Even if you think you've pulled it down enough, pull it down even more. It's really hard to overdo it. Good, and I'll let you know if you do. Good. Breathe in. Exhale to standing splits. You know what to do if you want to play. Nice. If you're playing, you can keep playing as long as you'd like. For the rest of us, we'll find Shiva squat. Right knee to the outside of the left calf. Hands can come to heart. You can lift the chest just slightly. Chair pose. Rearrange the right leg. Reach your arms up. About 2 breaths here. Push your knees back behind the toes. You're working the weight to stay in the ankles. It's like there really is a chair behind you that you're sitting into. Yes, lift all 10 toes if you can. The lift of the arms should come more from your core, less from overloading the shoulders. Now prayer twist to the left. Thumbs work towards the center of your chest. Just like that lunge, we avoid collapsing into the left thigh with the right elbow. It's just a light connection to twist deeper. Right knee tugs back. So stay here and breathe in. On your exhale, come through center, hands to heart. Inhale to reach up, separate the feet hip distance apart. And then exhale, twist to the left, bend into the right knee. Left arm can change here. Can take bird of paradise, half bind, full bind. And also just keep that arm lifted. Beautiful variations. Wherever you are, we'll meet in a forward fold. You can keep your feet hip distance or step them together. We'll step back to pyramid, so right foot halfway down your mat. Left foot is forward. We'll finish with a twist. Right hand down, left arm up, revolve. Lower the left hand to the ground, take a step forward, you're back at the top of your mat. Halfway lift as normal on your inhale. Fold and exhale. This time halfway lift, breathe in. This will be the last vinyasa IQ for today. Walk, jump, or float. All right, let's dive right into right side pigeon. You can slide the right foot forward. So you want to square off by tugging your right hip back and left hip forward. And then you sit evenly from side to side. So notice if there's a lot of weight in the right hip, try to shift it a little more to the left. You can decide where you can go. Maybe you can come all the way down to the belly or just to the forearms or to a block. Be somewhere that you can breathe, but you still feel challenged. That's really the key. Reclined figure 4 is a great option if you have any trouble with the knee. Take your last breath here. And shake out the right leg if you need to. We'll get ready to switch sides. Any adjustments in between that you need. When you're ready, you can slide that left foot forward. Left hip tugs back, right hip tugs forward this time. Sit evenly from side to side, and decide where you can take this. This side might be completely different than the last side, so always being open to that. Take that left leg up high, give it a shake if you need to. Right, we will jump through to a seat. Take a seated butterfly. Soles of the feet together, knees wide. Inhale to sit tall. And then on your exhale, pull the belly button forward as you fold. So you want to feel like your foundation comes from your low spine as you fold instead of focusing on what the upper body is doing. When you round in the spine, you actually go in the wrong direction. So you can see my pelvis is going backwards if I'm rounding. So I'm losing the benefits when that happens. Might look nicer because my nose is all the way to my toes, but that's where the ego comes into place. Pull the belly button forward. You'll feel this already probably just like that, and then you might not be able to fold nearly as far as you did before, but it will be so much deeper.
Yes, leave me confused. Leave me confused.
You can release your fold, bring the knees together. We'll come all the way down onto our backs. You can slide down nice and slow. We'll take a reclined back bend of your choice. So you can do fish pose, you can do full wheel, you can do bridge pose, supported bridge. I'm gonna cue bridge pose. So feet are hip distance apart. You want to avoid the knees being any wider than like 3 fingers the whole time. And then from here, push down, lift your bum up, keep an eye on those knees. From there, your palms can be flat on the ground beside you, or you can interlace your hands behind you. Wherever you go, try to wiggle your shoulder blades closer together. And then push down to rise. We'll do one big set here, so you'll be here for a couple breaths. Good. You can slide that block underneath if you need to. You can grab a full wheel if you'd like to take it a step deeper. Take one more big breath in at the top where you are. On the exhale, you can lower all the way down. Bring your knees into the chest to counter that back bend with a fold. Let's keep the right knee in, extend the left leg long. Just like that pose we did standing, now we're doing it reclining. We'll take a twist to the left. If you want to change up the legs here, you can do that as well. If you want to cross one leg on top, yeah, with the left hand, you can reach for the outside of the right foot.
Keep on holding on, and I know it's sharp, and I know it's sharp.
We'll bring the legs back through center. Get ready to switch sides. So left knee will hug in now, right leg will extend long. It's not too far to carry this. Take your twist when you're ready.
'Cause you could save this. It's not too far to carry this. 'Cause you could save this. It's not too far to carry this. 'Cause you could save this. It's not too far to carry this.
You could save this, it's not too far to carry.
And it's times like these, and it's
Let's bring the legs back through center. You can uncross if you had the legs crossed and bring the knees into the chest. Give yourself one final squeeze. Take a deep breath in, hug the knees in nice and tight, giving yourself a nice hug. And then to your final Shavasana on your exhalation. Extend your legs long, your arms long, close your eyes. This is your final opportunity here to practice peace. That's really all we're doing here. We're practicing being peaceful. We're practicing staying still, especially through those difficult poses. That kind of represents challenges in life. So this is your final time to do that. Make sure nothing takes this peace from you. Let your body be heavy and your heart feel light. Eyes closed and peace is available. Final relaxation pose here. Start to awaken when you're ready. Making sure your highest priority is maintaining this peace and taking it with you. When you feel ready and you have the space to, you can roll to the left side of your mat and take a moment there. Take your time as you find a comfortable seat, hands at your heart, eyes closed, for a final moment of gratitude for showing up today. Together, we'll take a big breath in through the nose, through the mouth, side out. Thank you all so much for practicing with me for you. The divine light in me honors the divine light in each and every one of you. Namaste, yogis. Thank you so much for coming, guys. Appreciate it. You're welcome. Once again, my name is Elda. It's spelled L-D-A. In case you're looking on the schedule, you're like, how the hell do I spell that? I'm subbing on Monday for John at 6 p.m. And John and I are doing on the 21st of April in his 4:15 class. I'll be playing live music during his whole class.